Okay, here we have the beer bookie spreadsheet for the place markets, and in this video we'll look at this adjust feature here and see what that does. Now before we look at that, we'll just look at the other sheets that are available on here. We have a sheet for laying in the place market races that only play to 2 places, and your market position will be shown there, and on here of course you only have up to 7 runners available. Now there's also another sheet for laying big handicaps which pay 4 places on 16 or more runners, and of course we've got 4 places there displayed, and again up to 25 runners. So the layout is just the same as the other sheets, and so we'll just look at the spreadsheet for 3 places to see how this adjust feature works. Okay, now this adjust feature allows you to bias your staking in favour of the first horse, or against the first horse and favour all the other horses. So either input a positive figure or a negative figure for the first horse, and that will affect this row here, which is the display for that first horse being placed, either if it's placed on its own there, or if it's placed with another horse for 2 places, or it's placed with 2 other horses for 3 places. So those figures there, that display there is applicable to that adjust feature there. Now if you adjust that, all that does is adjust that stake that you put on your first horse, which affects your market position. So if you adjust, we'll just put an adjust figure in there, a positive on and a negative. We'll put a positive in to start with of 3. Now that has, putting a 3 in there has reduced, if 2 horses are placed, that has reduced that to just down to a penny liability, rather than what it was before. Just to see what it was before, it would, if 2 horses were placed before, which included that first horse, the profit would have been £2.39, and that display there is for all the other horses. If 2 horses were placed from horses number 2 upwards, that would be the payout or liability there for 2 horses and there for 3 horses. That display there is for the first horse plus 1 of the other horses from horses number 2 downwards up to number 25, and that is the place for horse number 1 placed with 2 other horses placed for the other horses 2 to 25 down there. So if we put an adjustment in there again, just explain that again. Now we've reduced that now, so that if horse number 1 is placed with any other horse there, the payout would be 1 penny. Now if horse number 1 is not placed but 2 other horses are placed that we've laid, the payout would be £2.99. If 3 horses are placed, 1 of which included horse number 1, the liability would be £20. If 3 horses are placed which didn't include horse number 1, the payout would be £17 and a penny. So we biased our staking so that if 2 horses are placed which include horse number 1, we almost break even, and we have a little bit more payout if it's placed and 2 others are placed. So you can bias your staking for or against just the first horse. I can't do it for more horses down there because the combination of stakes would be far too large, and we would need a much bigger display to cover all the different combinations of stakes. So that's why I can only do an adjustment for 1 horse. So that's what happens if we put a positive figure in there. You can work to, if you were laying some horses and you've pretty much fancied that first horse may get placed, you might not want to have to pay so much out on it, so you could bias your stake in so that it would break even. Or if you put a negative in, if you thought it would get placed, you could bias your stake in so that if it did get placed, you would make a bigger profit. And there, the profit on it there is £6.39 if it's placed with one other horse. But if two other horses are placed from the others, it's on this. The winnings are £1.39. Okay, so you'd have to get this spreadsheet and mess about with it a little bit to see how the adjust feature works. But you can bias your stake in favour or against just that first horse. So that's what the adjust feature does. Now, what I didn't mention so much on the previous video was that if all your layers are successful, you don't hit any place horses, that is the amount that you win down there. All your layers are successful, so you clean up with the total amount of all your stakes. So strategy-wise, a strategy might be you might have your own selection method, in which case you would probably start to lay all the horses that you thought wouldn't lose, and just take it from there. Keep an eye on your total book percentage, and just keep laying until you're happy with what you see there, the outcome, which is really all you need to look at is those two lines there. All these are down here. They will always be all the same. All they are is the profit or liability of just one place horse. All that column is all the same, apart from your first one there, if you put an adjust feature in there. So all you need to look at really are those two first lines. That one includes your first horse if it's placed, and that one includes all the other horses without the first one. So that's what the display is. I hope that's clear. Now, the strategy that I employ most of all is to lay badly drawn horses. If there's a high draw advantage, I'll start at stall number 1 there, stall number 2 there, stall number 3 there, stall number 4, and lay them in order until I get towards the better drawn horses. Keep my eye on a percentage, and once I get into a decent position there, stop laying and then see what happens in the race. And that's the way I go about it, using this spreadsheet. So I look at startingstalls.co.uk, look at the draw advantage, and lay the badly drawn horses, especially if there's a lady jockey on the badly drawn horses, or an apprentice who I think will find it more difficult to get out, win the race from a disadvantaged stall. Okay, thanks for listening, and good luck with your trading.